Which brings us to this main event topic right here. Hopefully you can hear this. Actor Clifton Powell says his marriage was his biggest mistake after losing $10 million in a divorce. And we do have some clips on this one, but if you guys recognize him, I recognize him from Menace to Society. He's I don't want to disrespect him and call him a B-list actor. He has been involved in many films as a supporting actor or even a lower supporting actor. So let's put some respect on his name. He's been in this industry at least since Menace to Society, right, which came out in the mid 90s, the early 90s. All right, so he been in the industry for a long time. All right, so we'll put some respect on his name, and at least he had at least $10 million somewhere to spend on a marriage and a divorce. So this is what he has to say here related to this. Yeah, Chauncey from Menace to Society. All right, great character there. I thought he was very funny. He's a very funny guy. All right, it says right here, let's listen to the video.
The biggest mistake I made in the beginning was getting married. Not so much because marriage is bad, but trying to build my career inside of my marriage. It's simply impossible. And not that I wouldn't have married my ex-wife or not have my kids. The best thing that came out of that were my kids. So when I was married at the height of my career, making a lot of money, I was out of my house maybe 80% of the time. And no marriage can survive if you're not giving it attention. And then there's all the other temptations on the road, the women, the gambling, the drinking, the partying, and before you know it, you're in divorce court. But if you're not happy, money is not good. So I don't blame my ex-wife. I don't blame anyone. Build your career first and then focus on marriage and children and things like that.
Okay, so this is this is what I've been trying to warn you about. Again, shout out to him for bringing this conversation to the table. There is a full interview that we do have time to parse through. But yes, I've been saying the same thing, guys. Get yourself stable. Boss up first. Get leverage first. Read my book, Free Agent Lifestyle. It's essentially what I've been saying. Yeah, dude, I had kids. I hope everybody has kids. In fact, have as many kids as you want. But it's a little bit difficult in today's time. Let me come off the screen here. It's a little bit difficult in today's time because of how marriage and marital laws are established. Guys, if you would have focused on that first, it could have been better, or you would have married a different woman. But you married out of scarcity, or you married out of love, and you find out it was a business. It was a business. And it is tough then to remove yourself. It's blood in, blood out. Okay, now it's blood in or blood out. And now it's going to cost you $10 million, a.k.a. you paid. So now you're going to pay, all right? Akon's going to pay 30 years down the line. Okay, so now it becomes more hurtful and damaging. Let's listen to Kevin O'Leary talk about this before we listen to an entire interview right here. Okay. This is why I tell y'all to boss up, get leverage. Read my book, Free Agent Lifestyle. It is not me telling you to never date again, never live with a woman, and never marry again. It tells you a longer story. And somebody says, what is the solution? It's in the book, Free Agent Lifestyle. And he's telling you the same thing, man. If I would have done this, if I would have done that. Let's listen to what Kevin O'Leary says, because it kind of mimics what Chauncey was saying. Let's put some respect on his name, Clifton Powell. Listen to what Kevin O'Leary says about marriages and why they fail. And hopefully this is not muted. Let's hear it here, but let me know if this is muted. This is Kevin O'Leary from the Shark Tank.
Have money, you don't have a marriage. Marriage is a business. I know people go nuts when I say that, but it's a business. And the first child you're going to have is money. It's going to be the first child, and it's going to sit at the table with you every day. It's there, it's sitting there. If you don't have money, you don't have a marriage. I mean, the reason people get married is to form a form of financial stability so that they can afford a family.
All right, listen.
We didn't have any money when we started. We had nothing. And so that's why a great marriage can work, because you build it together. You really care about it. You care about your family. You also care about what you've created in wealth. And I consider my money her money, like, because she was the family that let me go and do this stuff. Now, I don't have the same relationship with our kids that she does because she raised them. But that's the thing you give up, and you have to give something up. That's it. You can be a great father, a great provider, but you're never going to have the closest that she had reading them stories when they were young.
Let me stop it right here. Okay. So essentially he's saying, look, when you're building together, this idea that men have to raise kids as equal as the woman is actually detrimental, because the number one child is money, because the money's going to come up. But if I'm spending all this time raising a kid and doing the chores equally to her because she feels a certain way, we ain't gonna have any money. Clifton Powell said the same thing. I was out of the house 80% of the time generating money. What did that do? It opened me up to vices. I became a bad husband as a result and maybe a bad father. But Kevin O'Leary's saying the same thing. Hey, don't expect me to be out here raising these kids. I'm going to be out here providing and becoming wealthy. His marriage survived. Clifton didn't. I told you the same thing. Money is always going to come up in relationships. You're not avoiding it. He said it's your first child. Clifton Powell tried to avoid it, and then it cost him 10 mil. It's always going to be a business. You're always going to need money. And yes, when you have children, you're going to need more money. If you don't want to participate in it, stay single. Do not get married. Do not think it's about love, because you're going to find out money's going to be the number one thing you're going to need. It's going to be your first child. So anybody then saying relationships shouldn't be about money and these women don't want to be dated and they want to be supported and she needs to pay her own way. We live in a time where even though women make money, they only represent 30% of all primary earners. There's just not a sense that women are entering in relationships and want to be equal or the head of household financially. That doesn't exist. So it's always going to be the onus on you. And rightly so, because when the shit collapses, you're going to get the blame even if she's the head of household. You didn't pull up your end of the bargain. This is why when I see men co-piloting women as DoorDash, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be fucked up the longer that relationship goes. She's never going to respect you. Do not have kids. She's never going to respect you. You guys that want to get it for free, you certainly aren't going to get a woman to keep doing that. And the same guys that say a woman's love language is when she pays, you're going to be screwed the longer that relationship goes on. You're going to be eaten up. It's not that I don't want you to find a woman that doesn't pay. It's not that I don't want you to find a woman where you got to support her. It's not that I don't want you to get free sex. Keep that relationship going and find out what happens. That's all I'm saying. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Keep it going and see what happens. You think you winning now, keep that shit going. And you're going to get dumped. And it could cost you millions. This is why I say men should have dominance in almost every manner over the woman, or it's a no-go. Financial. And even then it's tricky. But men should be the leader. If I'm not the leader, I'm out of there. If I'm depending on the woman's half of the rent, nope. If I want her to be an equal financial partner, no thank you. I'd rather just live separately. Why live together and have that? Because eventually she's going to challenge your power and authority. So that's all I'm saying. If you guys want to keep pursuing that and believing that, go ahead. But I cannot be financially dependent on a woman. Even if the McQueen pimp shit, you're financially dependent on a woman committing crimes. I don't want it. So you have to learn what I'm saying out here. I be shitting on dudes, but I'm saying my version is long-term. You're thinking short-term. Oh, women don't spend money on you. They do all the time. They buy me shit all the time, bro. And it's meaningless to me in terms of quantifying the money she spent. She spent a good portion of her money. She bought me some colognes and some candles. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. And then I put it with 40 other bottles of cologne that I bought or other women bought. That's not going to define anything of importance to me, but I'm appreciative of it. But you, on the other hand, she spent money on me and spent $300 on a date. Please, this is not a means to get into a relationship with this woman. Right here. Not at all. The Money Mindset 2025. Join us if you are looking to elevate your mindset to the next level and get your financial information and game back to where it needs to be. This is the Blue Chip Mindset on steroids. We have 80 plus episodes from the last 2 years that you missed available via playback. You can get all of those episodes. Also, every live stream on Sunday night with all of our great contributors with subjects, cryptocurrency, investment, money 101, money 201. Also, if you're looking to become a social media content creator, this is the group for you. 2 times a month, We give you content creator information about how much money you can make via content creation. What are the most popular forms of content creation coming forward in the next few years, and how you can capitalize on an opportunity to be a content creator. Join patreon.com/Coach Greg Adams to find the money mindset link. Let's get our blue chip mindset on. The window is still open. Okay. I'm not going to select her above all because she bought me cologne and some sneakers. Okay. At all. That's all I'm trying to tell you guys. Somebody says, depending on a woman as a man is a sin. Facts. It's a sin. He said, those are down payments on your commitment. Facts. You got to know what it means. It's not something that I use my ego and brag about. They buy me shit all the time, bruh. But all they're doing is buying time. They're trying to get you to push down there. Maybe I'll feel important. That doesn't mean that she loves you or likes you. She's just trying to get you to reel in. Like I said, I got a whole sugar baby, and she's like, I want to buy you things. It's like, with the money I gave you? Yes. With the money I gave you. I got one that comes from LA. She's like, can I bring you thing? Can I bring you anything? It's never about that. So that's all it is. And it doesn't prove you're a man. It doesn't prove that she likes you more. Their motives are never about you liking them. It is a commitment. It is a sleight of hand magic trick, Trey. It is something to lead you down to the next step. All right. And so you will have to find, it is a power move. Same thing as if I pay for a woman. That's a power move. It ain't like I have to. That's a power move. Now I can dictate. And she can dictate. Getting back to this particular video. All right. So we got this guy right here. Fair use to the art of dialogue here. On this one, I might have to double or triple, quadruple speed it. But men are not thinking long term here. All right. So here we go right here.
Man, you lost 10 million in your divorce, bro?
Yeah, well, you know, one of the things that I did a seminar yesterday, a group for one of my dear friends. Her name is Tressa, out of DC. She's a producer. So we were talking to the producing groups and the writers and trying to give them the ins and outs of the business. And one of the things that I try to do is, when I do lectures, I have one slated hopefully to do at Norfolk State, and I want to take it around to the HBCUs, evening with Clifton Powell. And what I want to talk about is all the things that nobody helped me understand when I started in the business. So one of the panelists asked me, what's the biggest mistake I made? I think the biggest mistake I made in the beginning was getting married. Not so much because marriage is bad, but trying to build my career inside of my marriage. It's simply impossible. The divorce rate in Hollywood is almost 97% amongst entertainers.
Jesus.
So, and not that I wouldn't have married my ex-wife or not have my kids. The best thing that came out of that were my kids. But I just, being an entertainer, and I'll give you an example. In 1979,
Damn, 1979. Okay, we going back. So, yeah, just really quickly, he says, trying to build myself within the marriage was impossible. Specifically in this industry, but that could be in your industry as well. Building yourself within a marriage is impossible, right? Being an entrepreneur and building yourself in a marriage requires that the woman understands that and she's patient. If you're an entrepreneur, but she wants to spend money to go out on drinky drinks, to girls' nights out, you're cooked. Plain and simple. If she doesn't want to have a budget and she sees money in there, but she doesn't see that, yeah, we need that money to survive 6 months, right? You're going to get cooked. You're not going to build that business. You're going to be subversion from within.
Self, Denzel Washington, Sam Jackson, Angela Bassett, we were all poor actors who were just entering into a very difficult business. And nobody ever told me and taught me anything about Hollywood or how to be an entertainer or be in the entertainment business. It's a little different when you're in New York and you don't necessarily make it to the big national level.
Yeah.
But when you leave New York, like we all did, only left New York, not necessarily come out to Hollywood to be famous actors. We were in love with the work, but you don't make a lot of money. So when you come out to Hollywood, the next thing you know, you do rock, And then from rock, you do Menace to Society. And then from Menace, you do Dead Presidents.
Let's go.
And then I went on a 35-year run. You know, I did Rush Hour, Next Friday, Phantoms, Deep Rising, and all the movies that people have Ray, and all the movies that people have seen me in. And inside of that has its own, the trajectory in the arts has its own isolated energy. And it takes all of your time and all of your energy. Barely have enough time for your wife and your kids.
Okay, let me stop him right there, because again, people are going to use the normie argument. They're going to be like, well, he cheated and he did this. But even before you break it down, it's about you're trying to build and you have liabilities, or you might not be on the same page budget-wise financially. Some people don't want to scrape through. But he's saying, I had a wife and kid, and it took so much time away from me to pursue this avenue, this goal, that it was difficult for me to keep that on the track. Kevin O'Leary said the same thing. All right, listen, one of us going to have to go out there and get it. The other person going to have to raise the kids. That's the basic, easy way to do it. The minute the woman reels you in and say, I feel like I'm a single mother, married, or I think you should help with chores, now you know you're cooked. Now you're picking up the kid at 3:30, then you didn't left the office meeting or the sales meeting. You're cooked to please her. I hope you're where you need to be financially. This is why age gaps would be better. Okay, I'm 50, she's 25. I already built myself. She's grinding at her career. Great. Now I can pick up the kids. I'm already where I need to be. All right, I'm established. I can take off work. I can control my schedule. I'm no longer in build mode. I'm built. Okay, that's why it would work. That's why some women will say, I'll take an older guy. Not because he likes me or she likes me better. It's because, oh shit, because now I could get some assist there and I could be like, you go girl. All right, be CEO at 34. Okay, right? Because that's 10 years from now if we're still together and I'm not grinding anymore. So there's ways to do it without just being single. You could go for age gap and have a 25-year-old woman build her career up while you could be up here picking up the kids at 3:30 coaching a AYSO soccer team because you're already there. So this is the free agent lifestyle 101. And this is what I suggest, because otherwise it's going to be tough and you're going to lose hella lot of money.
And I didn't understand that. And so when I was married at the height of my career, making a lot of money, I was out of my house maybe 80% of the time. And no marriage can survive if you're not giving it attention. And then there's all the other temptations on the road, the women, the gambling, the drinking, the partying. And before you know it, you're in divorce court. And that's really what happened. I survived it, you know, because money is amazing. But if you're not happy, money is not good. So I don't blame my ex-wife. I don't blame anyone. I just, with my journey, trying to help young entertainers understand, build your career first and then focus on marriage and children and things like that.
All right. So now, just so you guys know, women are giving the same advice. All right. But now I don't think they accomplish it as much as a man can accomplish it. This is why I say, as the power of man, as Big John used to say, we have the penis, right? So we have the potential to earn way more and sacrifice way more. And then when we sacrifice and earn more, we tend to give a lot of that away to the people we love, children, wife, girlfriends, whoever it is, sugar babies, right? Whores, prostitutes. We tend to give away our money in the means to get what we want. Women tend to earn more and build themselves, but they then say, I want someone equal or above. No dating down. All right, I want someone on my level. I want to have, he should spend his money. His money is our money, but my money is my money. So yeah, women can build themselves up, but they tend to hoard the money. Or they tend to want to level up and date. They did not want to support other men and children. So this is why I think when women are told that advice, it's detrimental. When men are told that advice, it actually works, right? It's actually that the world is going to get a positive result. For anybody that don't understand, let's take a look at this again. Most people that are in marriages are spiraling in some sort of financial delusion, right? Millions of divorce couples are forced to stay living together because they can't even afford a divorce because commingled funds. So he's hitting at something that I teach men. I wouldn't teach women this because they typically can't live up to this expectation of taking the lead financially. I think 30% of women are the head of household. That's not enough. That means 70% are not. All right, so that's continuing here.
And I had an outside life, you know, and I'll tell, and again, I told the panel yesterday, I have a movie that I'm developing about relationships. And one of the things that I like to talk to women about and men is that men have a hormone. And of course, I didn't understand this before I got married. Men have a hormone inside of their brain called dopamine. It controls the pleasure center of it's in the pleasure center of your brain. And that's drugs, sex, gambling, smoking, partying, and rock and roll. And I did all of that. I didn't do drugs. That's the only thing. That's the only reason I'm sitting here right now.
Good.
But I partied, I gambled, I had a lot of women, and I was never home. And it's very difficult because women have a hormone in their brain called oxytocin, which is the cuddle hormone. So intimacy is personal for women. It's emotional. It's not personal for men unless you fall in love with someone.
Okay, so he's talking about down the line. So vices for men. All right, vices for men, traps, gambling, and this type of thing. And other women and multiple women. This is why I can't say monogamy. Again, let's just say this right quick. This goes along with my teaching. Although I don't like men who cheat on their wives. I don't like that act. All right. I don't, not to say I wouldn't do it, not to say I don't understand why you do it. I'm just saying we can avoid this if you had leverage. For example, if he was in a leverage position, he could have multiple wives. Akon. He could have Polly. He could dictate to the wife coming in. But instead, when you're trying to build with her, you can't do it. You have to take whatever she's giving. I want a man committed to me and I want a man. So there's the leverage again. There's the leverage. It's gone. You don't have money. You don't have a business. You don't have standing. You don't have a life structure. She's not coming in going, hey, this is great. Okay, I'll make that sacrifice. Therefore, now you have to cheat on your wife. Even though you earn more money later, you can't change that relationship model. Just like Steph Curry can't change Ayesha. He's stuck in that model. She then still says we're in an equal partnership. Ayesha still says I'm better than him. I would have been better without him. So I'm just saying, if you change the leverage point, knowing what I know now, I changed the leverage point. So any woman coming in, then I can dictate. And then if she says I don't want it, then I can say bye-bye. I don't have to negotiate it. I could just say, well, that's the way I run my ship. And I understand why you think that's not fair, but see you later. It's a deal breaker for me. So you see what I'm saying here? He's basically backing up and verifying. He says he cheated and gambled and all of this stuff. It ruined his marriage. Wasn't the wife. He ruined his marriage because he didn't have leverage. He made more money, but he didn't have leverage. He didn't enter into a marriage with leverage. He entered into it with love and monogamy. Okay, that's a completely different mode. That's why then it cost them $10 million in a divorce. Hope you can still hear me. That's why it cost you $10 million, because you came in, especially if you're supported by the woman. Please, bruh. If you're supported by the woman and you a nigga sitting in the car and she doing DoorDash, forget it. You're going to have to watch her. Eventually, you'll be dropping her off and she'll be getting fucked by a sugar daddy. And then you'll be sitting in the car, nigga, like Travis Hunter. Okay? So this is why for men, I teach leverage above all. Tough lesson. Most guys don't want to do it because you're fucking lazy. This is why I say the bar's in hell for men. It ain't that you got to support her. It's that you got to have leverage. Okay? You got to have leverage, nigga.
And I didn't understand any of that. So one of the things that I want to do with my lecture or the evening with Clifton Powell is break all that down for young entertainers, because back in my day, nobody guides you through. There are no mentors to call, because now we all competition. So that's, how I take my spin on it. I got 2 beautiful children out of it, and I love my babies, and I wouldn't trade it, but I wouldn't do it the same way.
Wow. Let me ask you this. You'll be the perfect person to ask this. Do you think the financial side of divorce is fair for both parties?
That's really a great question. That's a very difficult question, because I think the way the law is written, depending on what state you're married in, it's 50-50. And LA is 50-50. So when you go into marriage, you're basically entering into a business situation. That's a very difficult question.
I got to hear this again.
Do you think the financial side of divorce is fair for both parties?
All right. Okay, I didn't hear the question. Did you think the financial side is fair in a divorce? I think it's irrelevant. Everybody knows it's not fair. Okay, so it's irrelevant. You're entering into a not fair agreement. I'll answer this for him. The reason why it's unfair is because the woman can say, my man can support me, he could do this, his money is our money, my money is my money, right? He could say that till she's blue in the face. But as soon as the divorce comes, she take it 50-60%. Now it's an equal partnership, right? So, you can make more money in the marriage and it still penalizes you. So let's see what he has to say. Sorry.
That's really a great question. That's a very difficult question, because I think the way the law is written, depending on what state you're married in, it's 50-50. And LA is 50-50. So when you go into marriage, you're basically entering into a business situation.
There you go again,
and
a business.
Everybody has to uphold their part. So it's fair in the sense that if my ex-wife was the breadwinner, she would have had to give me alimony. If she kept the kids, then she has to give me alimony and not child support.
Okay.
If I get the kids, she has to pay me child support if she's the breadwinner.
Yes.
If I'm the breadwinner and I get the kids, then, I have to pay her alimony.
Okay. So essentially, again, the marital laws benefit whoever the non-breadwinner is. That's who it benefits. Right. So, he said, even if she made more money, I would have got the benefit. So it's a business deal. As I say, man, men are in love, women are in business. But it's a business deal. Kevin O'Leary said marriage is a business. It's not about love. Love helps, though. It helps, but it doesn't last. Once the love is gone, what are your business built on? What are your marriage built on? The business. So the woman can then pull the icon, all right? 30 years, divorce-o. No more love. Or you cheated and blah, 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 blah.
Because I have the kids and there's no child support because they're with me. So it's fair. I mean, I know females. I have a couple of female friends who are paying child support and alimony. So I think you have to understand that marriage is, on top of the love, it's a contract. And if you don't uphold your end of the bargain, then you're going to get a problem. You're going to have a money problem if you don't have it.
Yes.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, in the sense, because a lot of people say that it's unfair to the men. So,
Well, it's unfair to most men because, like I said, most men are the breadwinners, 70%. It's getting even closer to more like 60% now because we got these fugazi-ass men and these perpetrating pimps trying to live off women. Then the women make a dumb decision. You hear women saying the same thing he says when they get fucked over in court. All right, and they don't got a prenup. It is unfair to mostly men, but like I said, the system is designed to get whoever the breadwinner is.
Oh, no.
Well, I gotta say this. I'm a little different. If you make a baby, you gotta take care of your baby for 21 years at least. So if you want to stop making babies, then put your condom on.
Yeah,
that's as simple as that. My ex-wife didn't make me marry her. I come out of a traditional Christian kind of background, and I felt like that was the right thing to do. I didn't understand the business part of it, but I wasn't a good husband. I can sit here and tell you I wasn't a good husband. Men are not monogamous. Women will never want to believe that, not because we want to be, but because we have dopamine in our brain. And then,
okay, so a lot of people ain't gonna go for this, but he's right, guys. Listen, a lot of these covering error. I wasn't a good husband. That's what he said. I can't say I was a perfect husband either. All right, my ex-wife could probably come up here and talk about all the shit I did. Some I realized, some I didn't. Some of the ways I made her feel. So nobody's really perfect in a marriage, and mostly men, especially when they're young, they tend to not be very good. Especially when they have money, they tend to go access the pussy, right? So he's saying I was non-monogamous in a marriage, which would ruin your marriage when you are built on monogamy. When your marriage built on monogamy and you're non-monogamous and you fake the funk and you're out here cheating, good luck, right? You're going to get a fucked up marriage. And what goes around comes around. But he then says it's a business. Guess what? They didn't tell me that because it was based on what? The Lord, church. Nobody prepared me for this. That's why I'm doing what I do. I'm preparing you for this at the very least. No matter what lane you pick, I'm preparing you at least. Most men don't get prepared. They get fucking ambushed. And then they come out here looking like an old man like this, him and me. And then they say, well, you just bitter and it didn't work out for you and blase. Okay. So we're at least preparing you for the reality, saying men are in love, women are in business. Men are normally not monogamous. I would rather then enter in a relationship where we agree upon that as opposed to faking it. All right. That's what he's saying right there. Listen, I couldn't maintain monogamy. He probably still can't to this day.
When you put entertainer on top of it, popular, famous, however you want to consider me, it comes with a lot of outside attention.
Yes.
Especially from women.
Yeah.
So I would sit here and say, you know, I wasn't a great husband. If I could do it again, if and when I marry Marquita, I'm going to be focused. I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be disciplined. And I've learned how to handle all the outside distractions.
All right. Great point by him. Great point. Listen, I know what these hoes are. These hoes ain't worth it on the outside. All right. I can maintain a little bit more monogamy, or I'll buy some prostitutes this time. All right. But you don't never know what he's saying here. Oh, he said, I'm better equipped this time. This is why I then think age gaps are beneficial to women. But of course, women don't like to be controlled. They have to be disciplined in the age gap relationship. Whereas if they got Pookie and he riding co-pilot during DoorDash trips, she maintains control over him. Right? So women don't want to be under the control of an older established man or a man that has his shit together. Even a young man with money is not, the woman maintains control over him. Look at Drea and that dude Jalen Green. Okay, look at Aisha Curry and Steph Curry. Look at what's the dude's name? Russell Wilson and Sierra. They're still in control. That's what women like about it. All right, they got a weak link husband that doesn't challenge her. She still gets to twerk on the internet, Sierra, and running around here allegedly banging Future on the side. And Russell Wilson then completely is weak in the position. Let's continue here.
So if the woman is the breadwinner, she's going to end up paying. If the man is the breadwinner, he has to pay. It's the way it goes. There's nothing if you're the breadwinner, you can hide money if you want.
There you go. But
when you get inside of a divorce proceeding, you are under a guideline. So if you try to move money or hide money, you can get locked up for that.
Facts, man, bro. Shout out to this man. He literally is telling you exactly what I've been telling you for years. Okay. When you are earning and building money with the woman, she has access to that money. So then when you go and hide it, you can't fucking hide it. Dudes be like, well, I'm getting a divorce. Where do I hide my money? You're going to get fucking locked up. They're going to bust up your trust. They're going to say it's community property, and boom. Okay, you moving marital money that was made during the marriage will fuck you over. All right, you they can't hide it. It's too late. Once she files for divorce, they're going to go back 2 years, and they're not just going to go back to yesterday, tomorrow. All right, what are you going to get paid tomorrow? They're going to get a forensic accountant and go through your shit like a fine-tooth comb. Shout out to Nathaniel. And they're going to go back 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Hiding money is useless. They're just going to go back to tax returns. They're going to go back to bank statements and bank accounts. Hiding it is useless at that point. Okay? He says you're disagreeing with his brain cheating theory. Yeah, he's saying dopamine. I'd simply say it's testosterone. All right? All right, but let me run this shit back. This is a lesson, bruh.
All the outside distractions. So if the woman is the breadwinner, she's going to end up paying. If the man is the breadwinner, he has to pay. It's the way it goes. There's nothing if you're the breadwinner.
Yes.
You can hide money if you want.
That's if you have the money prior to the marriage. Right? So prior to the marriage, I have a trust. We have a cohabitation agreement. We have a prenup. That's what he's talking about, hiding the money. So she's coming in, I'm established. Then I could put a trust, an LLC, a prenup, and I can defend it. So when she comes and files, I can put the shit in my mother's name. I can have investments in real estate in a trust or my parents' name, a family trust, a irrevocable trust. Now boom, she's coming in and that's not earned during the marriage. So when she goes and gets it, it's all locked up. She got to, but, and even in the prenup, you still are giving her something. All right, just so you guys know, prenup doesn't mean she leaves with nothing. You predetermine what she leaves with. And most prenups are fair or else they'll get busted up, right? So if she's unfairly leaving a marriage and you said, well, you leave with the shirt on your back, that's all you came in with, that's all you leaving with, she's going to roast you. The judge is not going to sign off on that. So he's saying hide the money. When you have it, you can predetermine what she's going to leave with. But when you don't, you leave it, you losing 10 million. All right. It's a blank check. So you went into love and you found out it was business and you signed a blank check. So now they get to put whatever the fuck they want on it. Man, I'm telling you, most men aren't prepared for this conversation. I've been telling you men for this for years. What's the solution? How many solutions should I give you, bro? I gave you solutions to leave women alone, to pay them directly, to get your trust in order. I gave you every reason to deal with a woman other than being a broke nigga. That's the only thing I don't want you to be. Don't be a broke nigga. Don't do as broke niggas do. All right, I've given you every other piece of solution but y'all want to go with the broke nigga route. Y'all want to go the love route. Okay, go ahead. You're going to get fucking chopped up into pieces out here, bruh. Chopped up into pieces trying to find love out here where these women are in business and they're monetized. Go ahead. I told you to boss up, told you to go to money mindset to get your bag up. All right. I told you everything. You niggas still leaving. So what's the solution, ass nigga?
But when you get inside of a divorce proceeding, you are under a guideline. So if you try to move money or hide money, you can get locked up for that. So if you get married tomorrow and your wife makes $300,000 and you make $1 million, then take $500,000 and give it to your mother or put it in an account that's that the federal government can't touch. Yep. And then you go into your proceedings, but then you got to open your books when you go into your proceedings.
Yep.
But it's ways to get around that. I can't talk about this on the podcast. If you got a great friend, you can say, listen, bro, or you got a older son, you say, hey, hold this 5,000 or 500,000. But once you are inside of that divorce proceeding or injunction, so to speak, then if you start moving money around, you can get in trouble for that.
Big time. Big time. If you're going, I'm going to go through a divorce. I think I'm going to file for divorce. My wife just filed for divorce and you start moving money, 99% chance you're going to get caught. All right. And when you get caught, what you have to understand is you ruined your reputation with that judge. All right. The forensic accountant going to go through that shit and they're going to see it. Now, do not then start saying, well, she cheated on me and right. And she got another boyfriend and she getting alimony but live with another nigga. You can't pull that now because you ruined your reputation with the judge. And any further proceedings, which there will be in almost every divorce, you're going to lose there too. You're going to lose there too. You're going to get fucking got. All right. Because then when she starts saying she's not handing the kids over on time, she's keeping away from my kids, the judge is going to be like, yeah, I remember, nigga, but I also remember you trying to hide money. Now, the woman could try to attempt this, and it's a little bit different. But you guys so you got to be careful when you're under the injunction. Basically, when they file for a divorce, moving money is a crime at that point.